Welcome to the Real Talk podcast brought to you by Jamaica Sotheby's International Realty. I'm your host, Carice Hendricks, and I'll be leading us every first Wednesday as we talk about real estate, art, culture, and lifestyle. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to Jamaica Sotheby's International Realty on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and at Jamaica SIR on Twitter and TikTok. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of our Real Talk podcast. This week, our topic will be the new normal, artificial intelligence and its influence on real estate. Today, I have three amazing panelists with me who are going to be giving us some insight into AI, real estate, data analysis, and how it is that we can see AI being used in real estate, how we see AI in our everyday life, and how that data is processed to help us make life easy and to make things better. Right, so first up, we have Annalisa Ramsey, who is an agent with Jamaica Sotheby's International Realty. How are you, Anna?
I'm good, thank you.
That's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, as you said, I am a proud agent with Jamaica Sotheby's International Realty. I have been with the agency for 1 year, but I've been in real estate since 2019 as an investor myself and as a project manager. It has been a very interesting experience, and I really, in becoming an agent, what I wanted to do was combine my passion for art and renovation and all of that with a data-driven approach to real estate, and to be able to help buyers and sellers embark on a journey that I've taken a few times.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
We also have Mr. Adrian Dunkley, who is the CEO and founder of Starapple AI. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. AI pioneer by day, artist by night, founder of Jamaica's first AI company, Forbes Tech member, and the president of the Jamaica Technology Digital Alliance. Reach out if you need help or free services.
There you go. And finally, and definitely not least, we have Mr. Davian Bramwell, who is a data analyst expert and the co-owner of Solitech Innovation. How are you?
I'm good.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, you would say that I'm an innovator, a foodie, love cars, love technology, always researching and trying to solve problems. But data is my thing. You know, I love it. I love data. I'm mixing it with analytics and AI.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. All right. So as I said before, our topic is artificial intelligence, and we want to, of course, zone in, as we do, on its influence on real estate. But for all of the non-techie persons like myself, all of the tech newbies, Adrian, what exactly is AI? What is it? What does it do?
So very simply, AI is just a field where you're teaching machines or a program something that is not really alive to act as if it's alive. You want it to, they don't want to the air quotes right now, but air quotes, think, reason, and make decisions similar to humans, but the idea is to get them to the point where they're better at humans than making decisions.
In that case, then, what is it that, as you know, as somebody who works in AI, what can we do with AI?
Too much. I'll say that. More than we probably should at this point. You can use it to recommend where to get food. I'm going to list everything we're already doing with it. Recommend where to get food, find people who are like you, figure out what diseases you have and how to cure them quickly, find the best route from here to Mobay, for instance, best tickets, best prices for anything. Basically, simplify your life. So it saves you time, saves you money, can find you clients for businesses, and it can make your life a lot better.
Okay. Anna, as a real estate agent, do you use AI in your day-to-day? Is it something that, pops up for you often?
Definitely use it from day to day, but I would say I'm at that point now where I am fascinated and searching. So I use ChatGPT, which I think the AI specialists would say, ChatGPT is probably old now, or I don't know what your position is on that. But
It's still there. It's still at the top.
It's still at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard people say that it's getting old, and I'm here waiting to see what is the new. I don't know as yet. Maybe these gentlemen can tell me. But I use ChatGPT. I would consider Grammarly to be AI as well, in as far as it can predict your writing style and help you to actually write emails, content, and so forth. What else? I know of persons who use Fireflies. I don't know if you know about Fireflies.ai. It will attend your virtual meetings, transcribe the notes, summarize the meeting. Carrie's taking notes. And even pull out the action points and send to team members. And I believe there's so much more that AI can do. I've seen people use it to generate videos, some auto generation of videos and all of that. So I'm using it as an efficiency and productivity tool right now, and I know that it can do so much more. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And Davian, in the line of work that you do, what is your interaction like with AI? Because I know that you, in data analysis, that's really a lot of what it is. So what interactions do you have with it?
Alright, so basically, one of my main rules is to, supply the data to the AI model. So it's not just supply raw data, but information, good data. So standardize it, cleansing the data, making sense of the data for the AI. So if you feed the AI garbage, it would output garbage. Mm-hmm. So that is one of my interactions with it. It's just feeding that data. It could be sensor data, it could be data from Facebook, customer transactional interactions. That's my interactions with it.
Okay. And with Solid Tech Innovation, what is it that you do there? What do you guys do?
So basically, it's a technology company, it's an innovative company. So we have been around for the past 10 years. And what we do, we provide solutions to our main customers are financial institutions. So what we do is cleanse the data, build data warehousing, analyze the data, build reports for them, help them to make use of it. Even recently, Sagicor made a post of how the data has been impactful to them, and we are the ones that basically control all the data for Sagicor Group. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. For both you and Adrian, Davian, what are some options that you guys would say, I'm trying to word this as best as possible, that we can maximize the benefits of AI?
So first off, AI is just a tool. Mm-hmm. Most important thing, it's not magic. It's not gonna solve your problems magically. If you go in with it, not knowing what you need to do, you're not really gonna know if you're getting what you should be getting. That's a big problem with ChatGPT right now. It will try to give you something you want, and to do that, it will make things up, thinking, you're satisfied with this, right? So first thing is get rid of all of the hype. So top 10 things to make $1 billion with AI in 24 hours, all of that stuff. Disregard that foolishness. Mm-hmm. So focus on the practicality. So Anna said she's using it for operational efficiency. That's one very, very quick area that you can actually benefit immediately. So we've been doing a study right now, and we found you can get between 26 to 60% improvement in your day-to-day using these tools. But the 60 is for people who are really good at their job already. Mm-hmm. 26 is people who kind of know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So start small, test it out, and be very careful about how you use it. So the big thing I have to tell people is do not put customer data in ChatGPT. Do not do that. Okay? Big security issue if you do something.
And the law will get you.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I agree with Adrian in terms of, and as you really see, efficiency is to make your life, your work easier. So even as an agent, real estate, in terms of predicting where, in terms of where the areas you should sell, so it makes it easy for you as an agent. You can probably implement some virtual tours for the buyers, so you can reach. There are cases where you can't be at the location at every time. So it's a case where you kind of use AI to establish some virtual tours for persons who can't be available in the middle of the night, they can just go and view the properties. Yes.
I know that here at Jamaica Sotheby's International Realty, we do have the Matterports that we use to do virtual tours of properties. Yes. I'm not sure of any other company in Jamaica that has a Matterport.
No.
So that is definitely one of our, if you need a property tour, you can just check it out on our website.
Very smooth sponsored post.
Of course.
After all.
Okay, and on that same note of putting customer information into things like ChatGPT, are there any main security concerns that people don't know about that they should be aware of when it comes to using these platforms?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the main thing. So a lot of these platforms, cloud, everything we use is cloud, but people don't really understand how the data is going to be used. So they always say, if you're getting something for free, you are the product, right? So every time you're using ChatGPT, you are helping OpenAI, the developers, train it for free. And if you pay for the plus, you're paying them to work for them effectively. But hopefully you're getting more benefit out of that. So as boring as the paperwork is, you should really go through the terms and conditions to see exactly how your data is being used, or find an expert to tell you, right?
Because I know that I don't know any one person that has ever actually read the terms and conditions of anything. We just scroll to the bottom and click, I accept.
Yeah, we are forced to on behalf of our clients, just to make sure they're not putting themselves in a bad position. And then another important thing for using these tools is bias, which is really big in real estate, right? If you're trying to automate things. So I like to look at Zillow. So Zillow was using prices and projecting stuff, and they've come across so many issues. I respect them for going out there and trying to experiment, but there's racial biases in prices, and it's not them being biased,
Yeah.
They're getting the data
Based on
from
the data that
sources.
So
you have to factor in inherent biases and ethics when you use these tools. You want to make sure that you're being treated fairly and appropriately. And this is a problem like all the big tech companies have had. So any company can make the same mistake. The biggest Zillow problem they had was they had something called Zillow estimates.
Zestimate, yes, I remember reading about that.
Right, so they're using algorithms to figure out the price of properties very quickly, updating it. And what you'd have is, you'd have a property worth $300,000 this week. It's worth $600,000 next week. You need to keep the human in the loop. That's really important, because the AI does not know. An AI doesn't know what an AI is. It doesn't know what you are. It doesn't know what air is. It doesn't know what money is, right? So you need people in the room who look like us and are diverse, making sure that it's making decisions that are not going to harm us.
Yeah.
There's so many things going on in my head right now. I have so many questions. You mentioned Zillow, and it has its deficiencies, I guess, but it's a good AI tool, nevertheless, abroad. Is there any scope for development of a similar platform locally? I know that everything depends on data. I think in Jamaica, the data is there. I suppose it's the accessibility to that data, but we know it's there. There is a great repository of data. We have a very well developed titling system and all the information that goes into that in terms of land transactions across the country. Is there any scope?
Hear what all three of us going on this. Split 33%.
I'm there.
Can do this in like a couple months.
Listen, I would be very interested in that. Because I really do believe in a data-driven approach, as I said before. And yes, I believe the human element is important. And at Jamaica Sotheby's, we, International Realty, we pride ourselves on being ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. And I think that the human element will always be invaluable. As you said, AI could probably tell you about a particular community. It cannot give you necessarily like the nuances within that community, this street versus that street, or what happened last month in the community and how that affects the desirability, whether good or bad, of the community. Also, I think in terms of building relationships, AI so far, and you guys can challenge me if I'm wrong, can give automated responses and recommendations. But in terms of building trust and rapport with your clients, who, I mean, as agents, we deal with persons who are probably buying their first home or selling a property that they probably don't even want to sell, to be honest. How do you guide someone through that process as a human? The one thing that AI is not, right? You can give reassurance, you can give guidance and so forth. So, I mean, you can hear from what I'm saying. I love AI. I love the AI, the human element. I love a data-driven approach. And Adrian, I'll take you up on that offer.
Yeah, let's do it.
We need to do it. You know, I think there's so much that can be done in Jamaica. And we can look at what has happened abroad and see how we can improve on it locally.
Sure.
I'd say the funny thing you brought up about really empathy, right? Dealing with clients, human to human. Google is actually trying to create AI with empathy. And they very short interactions, they can do it, it's pretty straightforward. But it's very difficult, consistent memory, making people know you care about them. If you go like China and Japan, they spend a lot of their empathy time on little robot animals for elderly people, because they don't have enough young person to care to old people. So the research is going into like robot dogs that follow you around and care about you and stuff like that. So that's right. But when it comes definitely human to human, and a decision as big as home ownership, wouldn't trust any AI right now to talk to me about it, no matter how much data they had or have. So I agree definitely with that. You still need a human in the room using the AI to make decisions better and faster, but not making a final choice.
My thought is that probably now, as you indicate, but in the future, that may change.
True.
It's really about the data and then the algorithms you're using, because just maths and statistics in the background. But they're imitating us, and we are very flawed entities. So it's going to be difficult for them really to tap into exactly what we are. If you look at the biggest trends or songs, and you try to take all the data in the world to predict it, you probably wouldn't have been able to, because we're kind of crazy, right? We're irrational beings. You get us all together, it's a bag of madness going on between us, right? So it's going to get really close. I'm not going to say AI is going to hit the singularity and then turn alive and destroy us and all of that stuff, but that is, if it's able to convince us it's alive, that's the same thing as being alive, right? But we still need to be very considerate of, if you train a model just on data for one country, it's going to bias every other country, right? So you need everybody's data in the world to get something that's relatively fair for everyone. That's why you still need analysts and data scientists and engineers and lawyers and actual real estate brokers and agents involved in decision making.
And on that note of the impersonality, in quotations, of AI, so that's something that I wanted to bring up, and that security concern, because I've seen on social media where persons have been saying, I got a call the other day and my sister was crying and said that she needed money and she sent me an account to send it to, and when they check it out, it's not at all that. It's just AI just record using their voice, because they probably uploaded a video on social media of themselves doing anything, saying anything, and they use that that audio bite to replicate the sound.
Can I just underscore what you're saying to Carrie's, making reference to that interview with Steve Jobs and Joe Rogan that is completely AI generated, an interview that never actually took place, right? But when you listen to it, it gets the cadence and everything correct for both persons, all the nuances of things they would say, and even the giggling and all of that. But I think it's based on all the information or data that already exists out there for both persons. That's how it's able to generate the interview. However, there is the good side of it. For instance, as agents who would like to do promotional materials on social media, I see where they say, make, 2-minute shorts on YouTube, make a habit of doing a lot of them. Google apparently is biased towards them, and over time you will build up, I guess, your AI self that AI can then use to I guess, enhance and generate, just like it did with the Steve Jobs and Joe Rogan, that it can do that with you. So eventually, I mean, I guess you can train it to be you.
Right.
It's an interesting. I don't even know, and you can how the law
Hasn't caught up.
Okay,
Hasn't caught up.
it hasn't caught up.
Has not.
Yeah, that is an important question. Is it possible to really regulate a system that we feed so much data like we do with AI? And it's not just chat GPT, but we put in things, even in the map, we put in exactly where our home is, exactly where our work is. How do we regulate the information that's not just being inputted, but outputted to people? Is that possible at all?
To some extent, if you control the internet or accessing the internet. So look at China. China is very strict with this stuff. China has full control of that. They're using AI in like the dark side way. They're using AI to control their citizens and monitor them and figure out social scores and stuff like that, right? Very ingenious and effective, but at the same time, if you
Scary.
if you want privacy, China's not a place to go, right? And if you have a bad social score, they will stop you from being able to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
It's a very Black Mirror.
Yeah, and it monitors.
Exactly. That was what I was thinking.
Black Mirror is very factual turned out, to be frank. A lot of the stuff in it just kind of turned out AI-related stuff. It's like happening right now.
I'm actually having a trouble distinguishing between Black Mirror and reality sometimes right now. I tell you the truth. I remember, I think, a documentary I saw where someone had said this is in China, they crossed the street, they jaywalked illegal in China. Facial recognition picked up their face and ticketed them and deducted the money from their account all at once.
Very efficient. Imagine we're having that here for taxes.
No,
Imagine.
I'm not an advocate for that system.
Huge economy. Right?
AI, you know what? Because in that case, AI became judge, jury,
Yeah.
you know,
And
everything,
execution.
and execute. No, I don't.
Police, everything.
No.
Yeah, it's great. And then in that case, what if you cross the road because you're being attacked? It's still gonna charge you, right? So you need someone kind of in the middle of the process making sure that it
Human
makes sense.
aspect for the...
Yeah, look. News report came out a couple of weeks ago. Guy's been paralyzed from the waist down. He can walk now, and it's just a system that they put on him. It reads his brain signals, and he's figured out how to actually walk with it. You have people in China now where you can actually read their thoughts. You have to be in a machine, a big machine, but it's getting to that point where they can actually figure out what you're thinking. And the plan was, we can actually tell if you're a Chinese spy or if you love the country or not, just by putting you into a room and reading your brain scans and stuff like that. Right? So it's science fact. And it's moving so quickly because of the data and the systems, the technology, and we're feeding it so much data every single day. There are some reports coming out saying that in probably like 5 to 10 years, AI won't have any fresh data to train on. So what may actually happen now is you actually have people who are their entire profession now is to create anything, just to talk, just to run around videos, which TikTok. TikTok's a huge source of data. Yeah, huge source. Yeah.
That's so interesting. If somebody decides, I want to go into data analytics and I want to start working with AI, how do we do that? What's the best route? What kind of certifications you need to get into that?
Well, you have different platforms that offer like some courses. And certainly you need to define a path. You need to know where you want to go. And based on that, you have some that can help you to define a path. Udemy is one. It offers different courses at good prices. I think there are some others I'm not to remember, but within
Coursera
is another one that you can be tracked. It's a month course. You do, I think, you have a project at the end of it. So there are platforms that offer courses where persons can learn, train, and they can test. You test. Analyzing data, creating reports, all those type of things. It's available.
Anna, all right, so with what we've learned so far about AI and what AI can do, how is it that you as an agent plan to stand out against disruptors as people who become more and more accustomed to using AI to do everything. So they want to find a property. They're not going to call a realtor. They're like, oh, I can just look this up here. How is it that you plan to leverage your business in a way that you are still the point of contact when persons want to do business?
Well, I mean, first of all, I choose not to see it as a disruptor. I see it as a welcomed asset. And so as an agent, you can use it, as I said, to provide, to enhance your data-driven approach. You can also use it to enhance, or rather, to, I guess, do the grunt work of real estate while you focus on the human element. You know, I mean, I see where there is AI that can help you to pre-qualify buyers, or to help you, I mean, in terms of, you know, you sift through and it can help you to help your client in terms of, you know, being qualified to purchase. It helps you in terms of following up on whatever lead generation and so forth that you as an agent would have had to have done in the first place. But I really think the human element will remain very important in terms of providing a personalized service to your client. While AI is data driven, you still need to develop your expertise, and your personal development is still going to be important. You can't become totally reliant on it. You're still going to have to follow up with the industry best practices. You're going to have to, you know, continue to improve on your skills and your soft skills in particular. I mean, you are supposed to be your client's best advocate. In terms of their preferences, their needs, and negotiating the best outcome for them. Until the AI gets up and grows legs and hands and, you know,
In time.
Yeah, in time. But until then, you know, you are still the one in the best position to advocate for your client. Emotional intelligence, like I said, your client can be going. It is a complex situation. It's not just numbers and dollar signs and so forth.
Rather.
How can you reassure your client? What advice can you give? How can you even help your client just de-stress a little bit? You know, and I think I said this already, but you know, adapt to the assets, which is the AI, but also continue to learn because things are ever changing, and I think that is how you will really prove yourself different and stand out even in the midst of what you might call disruptors, which I think is just an asset.
To add to what Anna is saying, I think in terms of improving even her brand awareness, the AI can help in terms of, you know, Google advertisements, the tags that are there, recommending different tags. So when persons search, most persons, if they're trying to find property or service, they'll go to Google and search. So if the search can be up top based on AI assisting her in terms of her tagging. Yeah, so, you know, endless possibilities for you.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I think as we learn and get more, I guess, accustomed to AI and all of these different platforms that exist and that have existed for a while that we're now recognizing as AI, it becomes easier to understand how we can use them to our benefit and how we can make life much easier than we do now. Because I know that there's some AI platforms that you can use to make market analyses and projections in the market,
Correct.
which a lot of persons are, I mean, I'm not sure if there are any that I know of that exist for us locally, but I've seen even platforms that allow persons to find out what the best platform and what the best routes are to get mortgages and to get loans, stuff like that.
Correct.
So I think as we get more used to these platforms and we start learning more about them, it becomes such a perfect tool to not replace what we do or replace our jobs, but to assist them to make life much easier. So I think that's all of the questions I have for you guys today. This was very insightful, very educational for me at least. So thank you guys so much for being here. Before I let you go, I'm gonna just go around the room and let you guys plug yourselves, anywhere we can find you guys on social media if people need to reach out. Anna, let's start with you. Where can we find you?
All right, well, you can find me on Instagram, Anna Ramsey Real Estate. You can, call me, 876-334-1676. And there's email, anna@sothebysrealty.com.jm. And just feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Adrian.
All right, Maestro, Decision Maestro. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all over. Or you can check us out, Star Apple AI. Mostly AI generated content on there, but if you want to see what you can do with AI, videos, music, all that stuff. Oh, and on the note of learning, www.starappleinterns.com, free internship. We have 300 people across the Caribbean and Africa in there. You learn about data science and AI, and it's free.
And
Wow.
it's free.
Yeah.
Emphasis on it's free.
Sounds good.
What about you, Davian?
You can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn. Our company is Solitech Innovation. We do actual digital advertisements, our own digital boards as well. So even the one on Shortwood, I own that one. But if you drive on Shortwood, you see it on the side.
Yeah.
I own that one, and couple in stores. I own a couple. So if persons want to advertise properties or anything, they can come to solitechinnovation.com. You can go to that site, or you can reach us at LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever.
Okay,
All right.
perfect. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciated your insights. And you know that this is the Real Talk podcast with Jamaica Sotheby's International Realty. And I was your host, Carice Hendricks.